An apple a day keeps Dr. Berg's BS at bay. Man, I'm gonna get a lot of hate on this one, so bring it on, haters. There's no single diet out there having a bigger fan base than the keto diet. It's mind-blowing how popular this diet has become, and it's mind-blowing what a huge fan base it has. People defend this diet like fanatics, like... Look, I understand the need for a diet like keto. I understand where this comes from. The purpose of this channel is to help people lose fat and get past that psychological barrier that comes with being obese. So you can lose weight on keto, but it's not anything new. You can lose weight on any other crash diet out there. Keto is not a magic pill. It's not some holy grail of dieting. It's just another fad diet. I said this in my previous video and I will repeat it now. Short-term diets are long-term failures. If you have not seen my previous video, I will link it up there. So I was searching YouTube, seeing what other diets people use and what their experiences are, and I stumbled upon this video by Dr. Eric Berg.
Recently, someone wanted to know my opinion of Noom.
In this video, he makes a review on Noom and their approach to fat loss. Let's see what the good doctor has to say about that.
Well, it's a weight loss app, and on their website, they describe their program as an anti-diet, habit and behavior program. No food is off limits. Their main focus is on calories, okay? You eat less calorie-rich foods and you'll lose weight. They also have a rating scale with different color foods and with the emphasis on eating more green foods like salads because they're less calorie and more nutrient dense.
So what is Noom? It's just a calorie tracking app and they have a sort of aggressive marketing, so to say. But we're not getting into that in this video because Dr. Berg's video just briefly mentions Noom and it turns into a full keto versus calorie counting video. What he's basically trying to say is that calories in versus calories out doesn't matter, and that is defying the laws of thermodynamics. Let's see.
Now the whole idea, the whole concept is that you're going to increase your awareness if you're tracking your calories. And you may lose some weight if you eat less junk food.
You may lose some fat by eating less junk food? Of course you will. Not only you may. Eat less junk. Put the fork down.
But here's the problems with Noom. The first time you do it, it may work. Ask any female over the age of 50 that has done a lot of diets in their life, and they will always tell you the same thing. The first time they went on a low-calorie diet, it worked, and then each time they repeated that low-calorie diet, it worked less and less and less and less to the point where it stopped working.
So he says the first time you do calorie tracking, it works fine, but the second time around it doesn't work so much. Let's do a quick Google search and see what people say about that on the keto diet. Well, what do you know? People also report that on keto.
Diets in general, specifically low-calorie diets or low-fat diets, end up slowing your metabolism because your body is adapting to a lower amount of calories.
Diets in general, even keto, slows your metabolism because you cannot lose weight and keep the same high metabolism as you had before when you were bigger. If you shrink, your calorie needs also shrink and you have to adjust to that new calorie need. Keto also works through a calorie deficit. No deficit, no fat loss.
Also, they're assuming that all these calories that are being tracked are treated the same by your endocrine system or your hormones, and that is absolutely not true. There's one very important hormone, it's called insulin, that controls whether you burn fat or not. If insulin is higher than it should be, you will not burn fat. In fact, you're going to only store fat. If insulin is lower, your body will then burn fat. So I think it'd be really important, instead of focusing on calories, focusing on foods that stimulate or inhibit insulin. That would be a way better strategy to help you lose weight.
So really, it's not the junk food that makes us fat, it's the insulin. So if the insulin is high and we spike it throughout the day, we cannot lose fat, quite the opposite, we even gain fat. So let's think about that for a second. That means that if I eat only a bar of chocolate a day, and I spread that chocolate throughout the day in tiny portions, so I keep my insulin really high all day long by constantly eating chocolate. But I will only be eating that one chocolate bar, which is roughly 480 calories. The average male consumption needs is roughly around 2500 calories. If I eat only 480 calories, that's a pretty big deficit. So you're telling me I will not lose weight on eating only 480 calories worth of chocolate. I'm guaranteed to lose weight. No matter how high the insulin is, the calorie deficit will make me lose fat. Think on how we can expand to this a bit. If this were true and we could not be able to lose fat just by maintaining our insulin high, some people could really profit from that. Tell that to the US Army. I'm sure they will be happy to replace all the expensive rations they give soldiers with just a handful of chocolate bars. If they can't lose any weight and they actually gain weight just for maintaining their insulin levels high, you can cut back on a lot of money by cutting back on those rations. What's keeping them from that? I'm telling you what, common sense, that's what's keeping them from that. Let's move on and see what else the good doctor has to say.
And it just so happens that the calorie-rich foods, the fats, have a near zero effect on insulin. Carbohydrates have the highest effect on insulin, with proteins having a moderate effect on insulin. So what does this tell us? You should be on a higher fat, moderate protein, low carb diet.
So yes, let's promote eating more fats, because fats only have 9 calories per gram, which is more than double the calories for protein or carbs. So let's tell fat people to eat more fat and thus eat more calories. That's sending out the correct message. Yeah. Do you know how quickly you can get to your maintenance level calories by eating fat? Let's take nuts and seeds, peanuts, which are a staple in the keto diet. How many peanuts do I need to reach my maintenance level? It's 400 grams. 400 grams of peanuts, that's about a medium-sized bag. If I eat that medium-sized bag of peanuts, I would have consumed all of the calories I need in a single day, just in that one sitting. I can eat a bag of peanuts watching an episode of Netflix. If you're a woman, you don't even need the one bag which will actually put you in a calorie surplus. So by eating one bag of peanuts, you will actually gain fat and not eat anything else the whole day. And no, insulin will not save you from the calories eaten. Just because your insulin is down, it doesn't mean you're not going overboard on calories.
Now, the other thing is when you're aging, your metabolism is slowing down. So counting your calories is not going to work.
Okay, so when you are aging, your metabolism slows down and counting calories no longer works. Why? This is your maintenance level. This is how many calories you need to maintain your weight. Go above this level and you gain weight. Go below this level and you lose weight. When your metabolism slows down, this decreases by a bit, 100, 200 calories. But the level is still there. You can still eat less to lose fat and more to gain fat. How high you go with the maintenance level or how low you go, it doesn't mean calorie counting won't work anymore. It means you just have to adjust them based on your maintenance needs. Yes, the initial estimation of the calories won't work because you estimated them here and now you're here, but you adjust.
Especially when you have no food that is off limits, because you're allowing any foods, including the carbohydrates, in a certain amount. Also, they allow snacking.
And they also allow snacking. Snacking. Let's snack on some chocolate hazelnut crunchiness. I love snacking. It keeps me full between meals, it's delicious, and yes, I am losing weight while snacking on delicious foods. So why cut back on something you enjoy, something you like, something that keeps you mentally sane? Why use restriction? We need our freedom to eat the foods that we love. Sure, I don't go overboard on them. You shouldn't either, but at least I can eat them, I can taste them.
And what happens, anytime you eat anything, you're gonna get a little spike in insulin. So if you're snacking through the day and you keep that insulin high, not only is that gonna slow down your weight loss, but you're gonna be hungry all the time.
No, you're not gonna be hungry all the time. That's why you snack. You snack because you are hungry and you have to wait a little bit until your food is ready. Or you snack because you wanna eat something sweet, something quick, and not have to prepare a whole meal. How can you be hungry if you eat 3 meals a day and you can even snack between meals?
So, very simply, you want to lower your carbs. That's gonna decrease insulin. Your body's gonna start burning fat. It's gonna turn into ketones, okay? And then combine that with intermittent fasting. If you haven't heard about keto and intermittent fasting, using those together, you definitely need to know about that because it's going to make your weight loss program not only a lot more effective, but a lot easier because your hunger is going to go away. You'll get into fat burning more consistently and more long-term, and you won't have to count your calories or track your calories at all, so you have a lot more extra time on your hands.
But he's not talking about quantities now, is he? How much can you eat? Can you eat unlimited amounts? Does keto provide the holy grail of dieting? Can you eat as much as you want, as long as it's not carbs? Well, damn, I've been doing keto wrong then. Yeah. Hello? Yeah, I'd like to order 20 bags of peanuts, 50 jars of peanut butter, a tub of coconut oil, and the largest bucket of butter you can find. Yeah, that should be enough for this week. I'll order again on Monday. Boy, I really hope that was true. But unfortunately, in this universe, we have to obey the laws of thermodynamics. It's calories in versus calories out. You cannot eat unlimited quantities of foods just because they're fat, protein, or carbs. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what you think!
The number of calories you eat a day will determine if you lose weight, maintain, or gain weight. Macros, insulin, hormones only count for 20% of the equation. It's the 80-20 rule. 80% of your fat loss will come from calories, while the other 20% will come from all the other things. Keto is a diet that makes you manipulate your macros into eating only 5% of your daily intake from carbs, 25% intake from protein, and a whopping 70% from fat. That's a pretty drastic change to make. How long do you think you can hold that restriction in place? How long until you burn out? Wouldn't it be simpler just to have freedom and not go all out on junk food and just use common sense and portion control, not restrict certain food groups, certain macros? Let's take a look at the list of all the foods you're not allowed to eat on keto. So you're not allowed wheat, rye, oats, corn, buckwheat, quinoa, barley, rice, tangerines, oranges, pineapples, bananas, apples. What happened to an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Pears, grapes, mangoes, nectarines, peaches, chickpeas, lima beans, pinto beans, black beans, every type of beans out there. Green peas, lentils, most milks, condensed milk, cream, cottage cheese, fat-free or low-fat yogurt. That's a pretty big list of restrictions right there. Those are foods I eat on a daily basis. Not one day goes by where I don't eat at least 3 foods from that list. Do you need restriction to lose weight? No. Can you lose weight eating these foods? Yes. If you agree with common sense and you yourself value your freedom to choose what to eat in a day and not have to restrict based on whatever some diet tells you to, then like this video, hit the subscribe button, check out my other 2 videos and share them with your friends as it will help with the YouTube algorithm so we can spread this message to more people. And always remember, you can do it. Everyone can. No exceptions.